You know, in the global race for quantum supremacy, it feels like some nations are all about making a lot of noise, while others are just quietly building. Today, we're going to look at one of those quiet builders. Let's dive into the story of Italy's really remarkable and surprising rise in the world of quantum technology.
And this quote, it just nails it, doesn't it? While everyone else seems to be in this frantic, mad dash, Italy's composing something different. It's more deliberate, more elegant. It suggests an approach that's not just about speed, but about making sure all the different parts work together in perfect harmony.
So, this really is the big question for us today. How did a nation that, let's be honest, is often seen as more of a follower in high tech manage to reposition itself as a key designer of what's coming next? Well, the answer seems to lie in a uniquely Italian mix of legacy, smart strategy, and collaboration. And that transformation is nothing short of a renaissance. It's this very purposeful shift from the sidelines right to the center of the action. And it wasn't driven by some loud explosion, but by a really clear, resonant purpose. Now, what's so interesting here is this idea of quantum with soul. This isn't just a race to build the fastest quantum computer. Not at all. It's about deeply weaving this new technology into what Italy already does best: its world-class semiconductor industry, its incredible skill in computational simulation, and this new, sharp focus on digital independence. So how did they do it? Well, first, you've got to build a solid foundation. Instead of going for flashy headlines, Italy focused on creating a durable national infrastructure. Think of it as the scaffolding you need for long-term success. And the heart of this strategy is really beating in Bologna. At the Sinica Center, they've set up Italy's first hybrid quantum classical machine. This is so cool. It combines the raw strength of today's supercomputers with the totally new possibilities of quantum processors. It's a perfect symbol of bridging the old world and the new frontier. Okay, now let's head over to Rome, which has basically become a giant living laboratory. The photonics district there is all about experimenting with light, manipulating photons for communication and for sensing. It's dynamic, it's innovative, and it plays right into Italy's historical strength in optics and physics. And this is where that connection to industry becomes crystal clear. In places like Catania, Italy's deep expertise in manufacturing semiconductors is being plugged directly into quantum research. I mean, they are literally blurring the line between the classic computer chip and the quantum qubit. It's just brilliant. And listen, this isn't just some hopeful vision. It's backed by serious cash. We're talking about a 240 million euro investment. And that money didn't just buy fancy equipment, it was used to fund a very clear set of national priorities, giving this whole strategy some real momentum. But look, infrastructure is only half the story, right? The second key pillar here is Italy's unique ecosystem. Is this layered conversation happening between the industrial giants, the agile little startups, and some deep academic research. And what's so fascinating is that the old guard and the new vanguard aren't fighting each other. They're collaborating. You have defense giants like Leonardo and semiconductor leaders like ST Microelectronics working right alongside and even helping these nimble startups. It's a symbiotic relationship, not a battle. And underpinning this whole thing is just a deep well of brainpower. Universities like Pisa, Sapienza, and the Politecnico di Milano, they're not just off in an ivory tower publishing papers. No way. They are patiently turning abstract quantum theory into actual practical blueprints for solving real-world problems in chemistry and algorithms, and for fixing those pesky errors that plague all quantum systems. Now for the third pillar, and this might be the most crucial one of all. Italy's strategy is built on integration with international partners, not on isolation. Let's take a look at how they're building this powerful network. So Italy is using these big European programs as a launch pad. They're working with France and Germany on simulation, they're piloting secure communication with Switzerland, and, this is really strategic, they're hosting the Mediterranean node of Europe's quantum communication network. They are weaving themselves into the very fabric of Europe's quantum future. So the bottom line here is this. Italy has totally flipped the script. It's gone from being a passive recipient of European policy and money to being an active player in shaping it. They're actually influencing the direction of the entire continent's quantum journey. And the payoff for all this smart work? It was crystal clear at the G7 summit. Italy was leading the conversation, and they put quantum tech right at the heart of digital sovereignty. This idea that allied nations have to control their own critical digital infrastructure.
This move put Italy smack in the center of the global strategic discussion.
Of course, the path forward isn't perfectly smooth. I mean, like any hugely ambitious project, Italy's quantum journey faces some very real challenges, or as the source material calls them, friction points. These are areas that need careful attention to keep the momentum going. So on one side, the opportunities are massive. They could lead in photonics, become a scientific hub for the whole Mediterranean, and apply quantum to their powerhouse industries. But on the other side, the brain drain of top talent to places like Zurich and Boston is a real threat. Plus, there's some fragmentation between government ministries, and startup funding still hasn't caught up to the US or Asia. But they are absolutely moving to address their biggest challenge. A national quantum talent strategy is on the way, and it's designed specifically to tackle that brain drain, to make Italy an attractive place for the world's best and brightest quantum innovators to come and build their careers.
And this really is the final takeaway. In a field that is so often driven by hype, Italy's approach just stands out. It's not about shouting the loudest, it's about building something sustainable, something integrated, something intelligent. It's a quiet but powerful ambition, designed not just to compete but to endure. And the only question is, in this frantic global sprint, will this measured approach ultimately compose the winning suite?